Yay, I'm live, I'm peeing. The first one. Okay. Hello.
Hey, you're the greatest. I'm gonna come see you tomorrow. You're gonna need some food, right?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff at the place I'm going.
But you're gonna need some food though, right?
Am I gonna need it or eat it?
You're gonna need some.
Oh, I'm gonna need some.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bring you like a bunch of oranges and a burger.
Oh, thank you. Hell yeah, thank you. Yay. Hi.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna try to go to the second.
Oh, awesome.
Second, yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. So you're still live streaming right now?
Huh? Yeah, live streaming now. Oh, thank you.
No. We're gonna.
Oh. Back?
Yeah, we're gonna go over there.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. All right, here we go. Everybody's helping and doing great. Thank you. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna start. Yeah. Okay. How you doing, Nick?
My plan to record continuously fell apart 20 minutes in when so my cord accidentally came unplugged. So it's like, okay, well, I'm glad that we got that.
Yeah.
Like the plan went awry immediately, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's
it
all.
takes the pressure off. It's like, okay, well now we know what this thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's put this here. All right. This is page 55. So that's a good amount. Entered kitchen. Yep. 10:33 p.m. Ate 1 milligram Xanax. Handled pear that had been cut strangely. Said, "Are you going to eat this pear?" in a strange voice I didn't plan on using. Mom said, "Well, I think we should watch it in the bedroom because of the HD." I said, "No." I said, "Can I have this pear? Are you done eating it?" Oh, 10:39 p.m. Sitting beside Mom on her bed. Man on TV in a butler outfit said, "I want to please Lady Mary," extending and retracting his hands several times, palms facing upward, as if holding invisible melons. 10:41 p.m. Mom said, "We must always talk like this, ooh," in British accent. I said, "Blor," in Britishly, I think. Man on TV said, "Before the war, I believed my life had value. I would like to feel that way again, I suppose." 10:42 p.m. Started laughing really hard, typing "Blor." Mom said, "Don't laugh, they've been in love for 20 years.
I'm gonna use that for an excuse.
Yeah.
I think they're pulling the car off.
Oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, Jordan said to me.
Okay, cool. 11:02 p.m. Les Miserables cannot be ordered on demand. Something is wrong with on demand. Crisis. 11:12 p.m. Mom is calling Comcast. We are eating from a plastic bag of lemon jelly beans from Whole Foods. Interested in watching The Master. Mom says it's too depressing. Remembered text from Keith about The Master. Phone has been dead since yesterday. Enjoying leaving it dead for now. Secretly recording a video of Mom talking to Comcast. 11:20 p.m. Ate handful lemon jelly beans and said, "After this, I'm going to stop." Mom said, "I think it's the sugar that keeps us coming back." I said, "Well, whatever you can get, You gotta take what keeps you coming back." 11:26 p.m. We have decided to watch The Master. Feel like convinced this was a product of my convincing. I get guilty when I feel like things are products of my convincing. March 22nd, 2013, 1:25 a.m. An intense, vague thing is happening with a wall. People are watching an increasingly frustrated Joaquin Phoenix pace from a window to a wall, saying, "It's a wall." Seems like he was instructed to do this by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman just embraced Joaquin Phoenix. I said, "This is a really weird episode of The Office you're showing me, Mom." 1:40 a.m. 1:40 a.m. Ate 2 pieces of buttered toast, one with raspberry jam, one cinnamon sugar. Oh, stop. 1:40 p.m. Mom paused the movie. Oh man, before the movie I had eaten another 1 milligram Xanax. Then I made and ate an entire frozen pizza. To be fair, it was like only 8 inches in diameter. While the pizza was baking, Mom and me listed all the places we've ever lived. I wrote a list of the places. 2:46 a.m. Ate 2 pieces of buttered toast, 1 with raspberry jam, 1 cinnamon sugar. I don't feel Xanax effects anymore. Oh, keep walking. I liked The Master in that I like all movies, I think. Joaquin Phoenix's character reminded me of someone I was obsessed with in high school and would later have casual sex with for a few years. Sometimes the sex felt less casual than other times. He also looked a little like Joaquin Phoenix. Set alarm for 11:30 a.m. 4:09 a.m. Ate 1 milligram Xanax. Searched Gmail for March 21st, 2012. Several email drafts from Rite Aid. Some, how will we move apartment? Or, hey, meet me here at this time. G-chats from ex-boyfriend. Stop looking at Gmail. Walk to kitchen and open a coconut as quietly as possible. Going to fucking watch the last episode of Girls. Fall asleep. Phone died. We'll have no alarm tomorrow morning. Oh well. Something about the movie made me think about babies. Or, no, Mom. Talking with Mom about all the places she lived when she was around my age. She was doing all these things with a child around. Wish I could have been there, helping them. She said having my sister with her was the only thing stopping her from killing herself sometimes. If I had a baby, I wouldn't kill myself, I don't think. Unless it was suffering and I thought we both wanted to die. I just wait for it to die and then kill myself. Want to talk to my sister more. Soothing ass coconut water. 5:04 a.m. If I eat a bagel, it might help me sleep. 5:51 a.m. 8 bagel, 3 cookies, 1 milligram Xanax. Watch Girls. Not sleepy. Feel like my job is to wrangle a herd of thoughts by thinking the fluffiest comforter is always under the heavier one. You are under both. Feel shitty. 6:05 a.m. Gotta be real with y'all. I sleep with a stuffed dragon every night. His name is Tata. 12 p.m. Mom woke me. Feel like a small child, unprepared. Drank glass of milk and ate 2 cookies. 1:28 p.m. Mom tried to say something like, it doesn't seem like you really want to live in New York, and I felt irritated. Tao is doing a reading, poetry presentation in Chicago tonight and invited people to party in his room, it says on Twitter. Nostalgic for the beginning of our relationship, when I went along on his book tour. Read all about it in Taipei. Look out for Taipei, which reading will likely make you sad and laugh and think interesting things about life the way Tao's books only do, only this one is my favorite. Plugged phone into charger and hit snooze alarm for 30 minutes. Saw a barrage of texts and felt good. 1:30 to 5:30 p.m. Hit snooze several times. Made the least you can do smoothie for energy/motivation to be healthy today. The least you can do smoothie. 2 bananas, 1 large bunch spinach, ice. It's the least you can do. It tastes good. Continued napping. At some point I talked with ex-boyfriend on the phone. He's at his parents' house in New Jersey, sad about things. No more apartment. This is how it went. All that hope in the beginning, and this is how it went. On the phone I said, our lease expires in a week. Then I'll never talk to you again. Should I sit here? Oh, sorry. Then I'll never talk to you again. And we laughed a little, but I think that's mostly true. Made plans to hang out tomorrow. There's some movie, I don't know. The last little dingleberry hangs on of a relationship. Being nice all of a sudden to honor something, the hope you had maybe. The other day he said, isn't it weird that no matter what, we're always going to remember each other? Like, we are the people we are going to remember? It was funny. 5:30 to 6:17 p.m. Later, something was said about drugs. Dad giving me Adderall. Mom said, you don't want to have your dad's mind when you're his age. Be careful. With an honestly concerned to the point of fear face. I said, I won't, unconvincingly. FedEx is open until 9 p.m. Mom said, will it bother you if I go play piano in the other room? I said it wouldn't at all. She's playing When You Wish Upon a Star. 8:36 p.m. Printed 115-page Liveblog manuscript. Satisfying to hold. Happy. Happy little shithead deluxe edition idiot deadbeat dad Megan Boyle. I've been referring to myself as deadbeat dad a lot lately. It's 9:07 p.m. FedEx was closed. Yoga is done for the day. Did not write cover letter. On the way to get Adderall from Dad's apartment. Smoking cigarette. Ran over a gray lump. Want to pay someone to read this and diagnose me. Nagging prescience that there's something I can't see, an obvious problem outsiders can see clearly that knowing would help change. Feeling that thing I'd feel on Sundays, knowing school is tomorrow and I haven't done my homework. Disappointed in me. 9:21 p.m. Think I'm less likely to complete tasks now because I used to make more of an effort. Things would be completed, but nothing has really changed about how I feel. Like all of the things I've tried. Still feel this directionless. Here I am, no matter what. 9:32 p.m. Dad was wearing #1 father sweatshirt. I hugged him and said, #1 Dad. Saw 2 security cameras near kitchen. I said, are they real? He said they were fake, with little red dots to discourage burglars, then described scenarios where a burglar would see each camera. He said they'd see one there, but then they'd see the other one there. He gave me 3 30 milligrams Adderall XR, hugged him again, left. 9:54 p.m. Past Whole Foods parking lot. It was too late. Going to Wegmans to buy kale and cantaloupe for a smoothie. Might exercise in Mom's gym. I don't feel funny or interesting or capable of writing anything, but robotic, this is what happened thoughts. This is the boring hell portion of the live blog. Boring low point. 10:06 p.m. Trying to think of things I want to listen to, but feel deadly. There's nothing to want at all about anything thing. Trying to conjure romantic fantasies, but feel overpowered with none of that is going to happen. Too many factors pulling in other directions. Plus, you are bad to be in relationships with. It is kinder not to inflict yourself on another person. Plus, remember what happens with every person you've ever felt happy around? It's just going to end up the same thing. Aware that these feelings will pass on their own as soon as I feel them enough or whatever, and I'll feel completely different things soon. Just want to sleep. Thought, sleep under the armpit of someone. That seems hopeful. Slow return of hope. In the hope launching process now. Denzel's voice calmly saying, we are inverted now, fully inverted. We are now in the hope launching process to air traffic control. 10:23 p.m. Listen to Ruins by Aloha. I've seen them play many times. My can't do it, surrendering arms gesture friend and I were obsessed with the drummer, Cale Parks. He moves his arms so fast and effortlessly and does really sweet fills. Feel stupid saying really sweet fills, but that's what they are. Listen to lyrics, which I know most of, and sat in parking spot crying a little. At the end there's this part that's like, at the end of the story I was just beyond camera, right outside the frame, waiting for a getaway car that never came. Wanted to cry more than I was able to. Cried a little again typing lyrics just now, sitting in peace stall at Wegmans. 10:31 p.m. Male voice said maintenance. I said okay from bathroom stall. Female voice said, is anyone in here? As I flushed toilet and exited stall. I smiled and said sorry to woman's head peeking in. I was at the hands washing station. She smiled and said, it's fine, take your time, closing the door. 10:37 p.m. Selected kale. There's so much fucking kale I select in this book. Selected kale, cantaloupe, green probiotic drink, B vitamins. Stood in line with least people. The woman from the bathroom rang me up. Selected earbuds from the impulse buy rack. Wondered if woman and I would talk about the bathroom thing. Customer in front of me left. I said hi and smiled. She didn't look at me and said, hi, how are you tonight? I said, good, how are you? With the last parts mumbled. She scanned my items. I entered my phone number in the credit card pay device thing. She held up a brown and mustard yellow, hippie-looking beanie and said, Mark, is this Dylan's? It's been here all day. I smiled and nodded and made a face / noise of, I know how that goes, man. Dylan, man. But she didn't see. I finished paying on the device. She said, someone gotta up and take that hat. I'm not about to, but I had already taken my bags and left at that point. 11:03 p.m. Ex-boyfriend called when I was peeing. Not going to say details. Seems apparent that he's read this, or at least part of it. He's not at his parents' house, has been in Philadelphia for some days. Corrected me in a funny way. Said I should come instead. Said I should come tonight instead. Think I will. I don't know. If I go, I can go to the library and write article tomorrow. I like that library. conflicted knowing he reads this. Will be inhibited when I type now, to some degree, knowing it could lead to hearing him say something like, "Oh, you included that. I see. Huh, that's interesting," and I'll feel bad. Fuck that. Fuck that name omitted by a request. You know this is the end of it. Fuck me for letting things affect me. What I just wrote leads me to believe there is no reason for me to go if my goal is to feel good. I want to go, though. Maybe it will be nice. Used to be nice. It's actually always kind of nice and kind of bad feeling seeing him, equal amounts. The library. Using the library and wanting change of scenery is my rational excuses for going. Desire to go is mostly fueled by emotion, though. Okay, at least I know that, both of those things. Parked in Mom's driveway right now. Coat smells like from hugging Dad. If it starts to feel more bad than good, I'll just leave. 11:47 p.m. Entered Mom's. Blender difficulty. Coaxed kale and cantaloupe together with a spoon, which required physical effort, like pushing. Allowed eyes to unfocus. Imagine spoon colliding with blade, causing blender to explode, glass flying into my throat, blood everywhere, nearly instant death. 11:30 p.m. Drank smoothie. Called ex-boyfriend to say I wasn't coming. Left him a voicemail like, "Hey, this is the pizza guy, Manny. You order pick up your phone." Called again. He said he was sad to hear I wasn't coming. I said something about not wanting to think about what to bring. He reminded me most of my stuff is there. I said, "If I come, can we go to the library tomorrow morning or afternoon?" He said yes, and that he'd written 40. He said something about being focused on words like hi, but he didn't say hi. But then that he had gone alone to 3G, a bar we joke about because of its presentation as extreme hotspot located on the corner of 3rd Street and Girard Street, that when I first saw over a year ago made me think, we'll be living in the neighborhood where things happen. This is the happening neighborhood. We've never gone inside. Tonight when he left, a group of people asked him to take a picture with them, and they were like, "Why are you going so soon?" He seemed drunk talking to me in the first conversation leaving Wegmans, and drunk in the conversation just before midnight. But it seems too complicated to talk about this, the dynamic between us, my wants for going, my knowing better but not really, how you know a person over time, there's sadness, you cause sadness and disappointment in each other but you don't stop, or like you almost stop. You're basically completely stopped until your lease expires. And then you know you won't know them anymore. You know you will forget most of it. But they've been the most consistent thing in your progressively insignificant life for 18 months. You've done and said everything mean and bad you can say to each other, but it's also never been hard to laugh. Yeah, I've laughed the most in this one relationship, but also felt the least similar to the person. A fatal dissimilarity we're both aware of. God damn it. March 23rd, 2013. 12:54 a.m. Mom followed me downstairs. Oh, thank you so much. Mom followed me downstairs, and for the maybe 90 seconds it took to arrange objects in voyage-ready car positions, stood in driveway watching me. She said, "I almost wanted to tell you to give him a hug for me, but..." I said, "No, he's fine. He's just... don't not want to hug him. It's complicated." I didn't know what to say. Driving now. 1:41 a.m. Have been listening to Ruins on repeat. Read lyrics and had goosebumps. Thought I was going to cry full out and didn't. Words sound newly poignant, like what I can't put to words now. The end part. Jesus. Fuck it. I considerately withheld lyrics before, but now you must endure or skip ahead. We were giants on a plywood stage. In evenings I was your household name. And for a... Man, I can't do that. And for a little while I knew all the words you'd say. Cut me from the movie, hold me from the credits. I was just beyond camera, right outside the frame, waiting for a getaway car that never came. At the end of the story I was just beyond camera, right outside the frame, waiting for a getaway car that never came, waiting for a getaway car that never came. 1:58 a.m. Passing Newark, Delaware. Predict I will not update Liveblog as frequently when I'm interacting with ex-boyfriend. Predict feelings of self-consciousness and wanting to avoid saying or doing things that will elicit a negative response from him. This is fucked up about me, I think. 12:17 a.m. Commented on Sam Pink's thing he just posted about a candy-ass racist reviewer. Wish I was driving to Sam Pink's house instead of where I'm going. Should I not include things like this? No, I'm including everything. Fuck it. Fuck me. Fuck it. I don't really wish I was anything at the moment, actually. Wish I was, just something alive but unconscious. Or like anything else. Wish I was anything else. Good epitaph for me. She was never anything else. 2:22 a.m. Past billboard advertising a lifestyle salad. Want to eat a Fleetwood Mac rumors tour lifestyle salad. 2:30 a.m. Parked outside apartment. Entered building. Saw giant Nesquik container on top of our mailbox. Walked up the stairs to apartment. Through door. Up more stairs to first level of apartment. Lights were off. Thought, shit, I won't be able to sleep. Put vegetables I brought in fridge. Then took my coat with me to the bathroom. Took 2 milligrams Xanax from coat pocket. And chewed with front teeth. While peeing. Coat was propped in the shower. Heard footsteps. Said, that's too heavy to be Shirley, and saw ex-boyfriend standing in the bathroom doorway wearing glasses and pajama pants and a giant blue knee-length t-shirt. I have the same one in pink. We bought them at a thrift store shortly after moving in together, but have rarely worn them. He was holding a water bottle and looked sad and far away and tired and maybe drunk. I wiped and walked to him without flushing toilet. I said, hi Mingus, or something. Then, how about that Nesquik? He didn't say anything. It seemed hard to adjust to seeing his body in front of me, like he seemed shorter maybe, or his head was larger. His hair was wet. He held me really close to him, and I held him really close back, touched each other's bodies in places while hugging, felt affected by how he seemed to be affected, smelled by his ear, and it smelled like him. On the drive over, I wasn't thinking about something that I now seemed to be thinking about, which seemed important but is hard to articulate. The thing caused by just physically being around someone. Walked to the bedroom and kissed, and took off each other's clothes. Not going to describe sex. Hadn't planned on having sex, and sort of didn't want to, but knew I would, and we would if I went and wanted to as it happened. 4 to 5 a.m. Wanted a sandwich badly. Drove us to Aramingo Diner. The waitress said, hey ladies, then realized ex-boyfriend was a boy. He has very long hair, and apologized. This has happened before. I said, they think that because of your face also. Your face is very pretty. At some point, he asked me to change his name to ex-boyfriend completely in Liveblog, but this may have happened at some other time. Talked about person who I like, but I don't think likes me anymore. He said something about it being because I had introduced the person to drugs. I said I didn't think so, that I wasn't the first person to do drugs with them, and that they didn't seem like the kind of person who would blame or hold anyone responsible for their decisions anyway, that they probably didn't like me anymore because of other things, which I felt I sort of understood and didn't want to talk about. He seemed insistent on the drug thing. Feeling very irritated typing this now, stupidly, obsessively, unstoppably irritated. Resisting urge to talk about the argument in detail. Enjoyed the sandwich very much. Things seemed better eventually. It seemed apparent that neither of us wanted to argue, but were aware of arguing, so one or both of us stopped or changed the subject. I don't remember other things we talked about at the diner. I remember joking about the music in the car. Went to bed feeling good. 12:30 p.m. Woke and had sex. Felt not fully awake the entire time. After sex, we laid with no covers on. Our apartment has never had heat, which is okay, but I'm always cold. I said something about wanting a blanket, and ex-boyfriend said, you don't need that. I sort of lazily wrestled with him to pull the smaller blanket onto me, and he said, you don't need that, again. Blanket didn't seem to warm me. Laid like that for a while, saying small things, some jokes, I think. I said, I'm making a smoothie, dressed in pajamas, and walked to the kitchen area with ex-boyfriend following shortly behind. 1:15 p.m. Ex-boyfriend played the Shirley song I referenced earlier and said, is this a Shirley song? I said, yes, and tried to show him, like, sing it as if it were Shirley while assembling smoothie ingredients and blending. In the blending process, a cracked egg falling mid-falling into a bowl sculpture I like but ex-boyfriend has always hated broke from the vibrations on the table. Made an incredulous, losing the most obvious bet on the Price is Right face, and he made the same face, and then a fake villain hand rub. We said, oh no, a few times. I said, you think it's broken, but this has happened before, and I've fixed it, in some kind of tone, fake mad. Smoothie was extremely cold. I said, I'm going back to the bedroom to drink this under the covers. He said, then I'll go take my shower my favorite way, alone. I said, fine, then after that, I'll take my shower my favorite way, alone. We sounded like children doing that competitive angry thing, only we were aware of it and making fun of ourselves, maybe, or at least I was. I went to the bedroom and I'm under blankets. Alvy is kneading near me, drinking spinach, avocado, coconut water, frozen banana smoothie. 1:26 p.m. Heard shower water run, stop, and radiator switch click on and off, which means there is no hot water. Ex-boyfriend appeared in the doorway, wearing giant knee-length t-shirt from last night, shrugging exaggeratedly with a crazed face. I said, oh, you had to do the thing. 1:30 p.m. Ex-boyfriend entered shower and I peed. Removed clothes. Ex-boyfriend sang I'm Your Boogeyman in the shower and I sang part of Boogie Nights. He said, that's not the same song. I said, I know. It was hard to remember anything but the part of Boogie Nights. It's like, dance to the boogie, get down. I sang that. Then the next part, which is like, cause boogie nights are dun dun dun, keep on dancing, keep on dancing. Joined him in the shower and sang parts of I'm Your Boogeyman and Boogie Nights together. Stood under hot water. At some point, ex-boyfriend said something about how I've been living in the luxury of your mom's condo, where you can just order Thai food and say, hey, can you guys just bring it to my bedroom? I don't want to get the door. Can you guys just bring it upstairs to my bed? I laughed a little and jokingly defended myself. I said that I haven't even ordered food once since I've been there. Continued to make mild complaints about the water, coldness, each other. I said, done, and felt like a child and turned off the water. Looked at ex-boyfriend's face, which was displaying a helplessly uncomfortable expression, looking somewhere in the distance. Handed him the thicker/nicer towel. He stepped out of the shower while I toweled off, standing in the bathtub. Felt myself shivering and unable to focus on anything but how it would be cold until my hair was dry, minutes away, long sets of minutes, almost at least 15. Didn't feel seriously irritated by anything that was going on. Unsure if ex-boyfriend did. Ex-boyfriend left bathroom and turned on the kitchen radio. I reapplied pajamas for the cold walk to the bathroom, where I turned the radio to the same station, playing Tom Waits. 1:49 p.m. Ex-boyfriend said, Meg, I won't even have to keep you away from me because Tom Waits is on. I said, no! Jogged to bed and burrowed under the covers. Tom Waits made horrible noises. Then the DJ asked him about pirates. I said, has any rapper ever been like, I'm rapscallion? Ex-boyfriend said, that's good, and went to make coffee. 1:53 p.m., dressed in black leggings, black American Apparel dress, black cardigan, 2 long gold necklaces. This is a look I see Mira and Chelsea wearing. Unsure if I can do this look. I like trying. I like all black. 12:20 p.m. Entered dining room with picnic table where ex-boyfriend was sitting with 2 mugs. He said, well, look at you, narrating himself in a tonally oblique way, like some kind of feigned act of appraisal. I snort laughed and said, yeah, not knowing why. Emotional music was playing. I asked what he'd do after we moved. He didn't want to talk about it. I told him when I met him in 2009 and he was living with his girlfriend in this really nice apartment in Brooklyn, I'd thought, wow, that's what life can be like? Every day they just wake together in this place and they do these things and they talk to these people they like and this is just normal? He said that even then he felt bad. He said, I remember drinking beers on the porch before work and feeling bad. I was just starting to be disillusioned or something. Now I'm fully whatever. I thought about him and me and how our lives have changed since we met. Felt hotness and water behind my eyes. He picked up a long white rolled paper and said, look at this thing. I said, whoa, look at it, hearing my voice trying to sound okay. With a defeated expression, he said, I don't know, maybe I'll move to New York again. We were quiet for a few moments. I said, I'm going to do something potentially alienating right now, as I moved to sit beside him. I hugged him and said, I'm glad I at least got to know you for a little while. I don't like that I said the alienating thing. I should have I don't know. I don't like that I did that, any of that. 2:20 p.m. Debated walking to library. I said we should drive because we need to buy cat food, because the cats are depending on us. Ex-boyfriend said, they have dry, look, pointing it to uneaten dry and crusted over wet food. I said, you know they're not going to eat that. Driving to Operation Ava for cat food, I said, do you think either of us are ever going to find, true love? He said, I am. I said, do you think I am? He said, maybe he was someone gay in some kind of like alternative setup. I said, what do you mean, like an actual gay person? He said, I don't know, it's gonna be an alternative setup. I said, I think I found it before. He said, oh, with that idiot? I said, no, I think I had it with person, and maybe, like, there could be again. I don't know. I felt bad saying all this, and like I was hating myself for saying it, but was unable to stop. I said, so, I wonder what she's going to be like, your person. Okay, she's going to have to read John O'Hara and know as many books as you know, and be really pretty but not wear makeup and have a steady job. He said, you're being stupid right now. I said, I know, I'm sorry. A reggae station was on the radio the whole time. I parked next to Kaplan's Deli in Operation Ava. I said, oh no, I can't go in there. They know about the Annie thing. I gave Annie, my other cat, to a shelter after taking her to the vet at Operation Ava. 2:30 p.m. Ex-boyfriend entered Kaplan's carrying blue plastic bag. I said, they didn't have everything bagels, so I got you a poppy one. He said, they didn't have cat food, so I got dog food. I said, are you serious? And tried to look in the bag, which he kept jerking away. I said, you really got? And he was smiling and said, yes. And I said, we need to return, wait. He said, they were out of cat food. Really? You honestly really think they were out of cat food? Over there was no cat food. I smiled and said, oh, geez, or something, but felt a little bad. 3:30 p.m., parked on 15th Street. Ex-boyfriend said, look at that Bud Light Eagles can, oh my god. I could barely see it was Eagles themed. He said, it looks so small around the other things, oh my god. I loved the can and loved ex-boyfriend and that this was happening. I said, yeah, it's like the label is facing out, it's showing us. He said, yeah, I can't believe it's there. It looked like it was a person on the street, lost, maybe selling something. I said, I want a picture, meaning just the can. Ex-boyfriend jogged to pose by it. He gestured to the can. I took a picture without him gesturing, put picture on Instagram. Felt excited for other things like the can that we could find. Felt my brain gearing up in a certain way to look for interesting things with a person that I like to do, but I know I can sometimes go overboard and annoy people. I think it's one of the first things people like and grow to hate about me in romantic situations, because I'm like always doing that, always wanting to do that, just say stuff like, look at that thing, it's like that thing is something else, then invent something else scenarios. Ideally together, but yeah, this seems to annoy people eventually, always. People always want to stop doing that. It's like they get the joke, but I like things that it can stop being a joke of it's something else and evolve into even more ridiculous things. Untapped potential for everything to become ridiculous scenarios always. So I can see myself being annoyed with a person who does it as relentlessly and sometimes insensitively to like other dynamics as I do it. Like if I can sense the person feels bad but I feel good, I'll still want to do it. Sometimes because I think it can make them feel better, more often because I'm bored with them feeling bad. 3:32 p.m. Walk to Fresh Grocer. Ex-boyfriend said, entrance and exit. When you go to the exit, you also exit, but when you go to the entrance, you enter. Enter. I laughed and said things. He said, this is where the energy things are, and I rubbed my hands together fiendishly, knowing he doesn't like energy drinks. I like to jokingly exaggerate things he doesn't like. Thank you. He doesn't like. I saw Science Zenergy drink, official energy drink of the UFC, which is my favorite. Not because the name is so ridiculous. Not only because its name is so ridiculous and it's the official drink of the UFC, but it also tastes really good. I selected one of each flavor, cran raz, blue palm, mango guava. Most places just have 2 flavors, but Fresh Grocer had all 3. And I was excited. I laughed like a madman, I think. Fake madman laughed. Said casual things about our surroundings while walking to the self-checkout line with the least people. Ex-boyfriend said, a lot of people buying things today. I need to take a break to see if Rachel Bell, I need to text her to let her know we're coming.
Yeah, I have a number, I think.
Okay. Said casual things about our surroundings while walking to the self-checkout line with the least people. Ex-boyfriend said, a lot of people buying things today. This is the day they want the stuff. I said, Yeah, remember when we were here with Colv, what we call Andrew Colville, and the Cheez-Its? He said, yeah, he seems to snack a lot. I said, yeah, I can see him snacking a lot. It's what keeps him so tall. Ex-boyfriend laughed. There's a big box of discounted books. I said, do you think there's a John O'Hara book in here? He said, maybe, probably. I wouldn't want to date a girl who, like John O'Hara. He's like, it's nasty to like that. I said, I thought that was the thing about me, or like one of them, that I never wanted to read John O'Hara. He said, no, no, and shook his head, then made a comedian-like face. And said that was definitely not it, referencing all the other things it was, I think, maybe, thank you, maybe seriously. I scanned the energy drinks on the self-scanner and put them in the bag. Ex-boyfriend inserted coins into the machine before I could. I inserted a $5 bill, and the overhead music changed to like old-timey vaudeville, like speakeasy music. I struggled with inserting the $1 bill. I said, the music is like perfect for what I'm doing. The machine printed out my receipt and a nickel flew out into the coin return area. I made a hi everybody Groucho Marx face and pointed at the coin dispenser and said, keep the change. Ex-boyfriend ran to get the nickel, fueled by his, what I consider neurotic desire, neurotic want to not waste things. Walking 3:37 p.m. Walking to Temple University campus. Out of nowhere, ex-boyfriend said, ex-boyfriend said, 40 going on 60 would be a much more interesting concept to me. I smiled and said, yeah. Past a building, the entire back of which seemed missing. Sheets in its windows. Oh, wait. I'm gonna take a short break to set up the live stream on the computer.
You can also speak louder.
Oh, it started to be.
Brief interlude?
Brief interlude.
I ordered toilet paper off Amazon Prime now, and they brought me like 20 bottled waters. So if anyone wants those,
Oh, tight.
those are fair game. And feel free to sit on whatever you want.
That was good timing because I need to change my tape too.
Anything I can do for you?
Huh?
May I handle anything? I'm gonna bounce him a little bit and go back to the.
Oh, whoa, all the way back?
Yeah, I work at J. Crew downtown at 1 p.m. So.
Where are you plugging in?
Oh, it's in the middle wall. It's attached to the left. What are you doing? Just onboarding, like learning all the different positions, and then hopefully.
I have
should
more
more
power strips.
I really would like to do a
some.
whole job.
Oh, wait, is that?
Well, I was doing for 5 years.
Ooh,
3 years.
extra plug. Check that. Got it.
2 years in Chicago, and then turn my life upside down for no good reason.
I think I'm okay. What's that? I'm okay. Okay. Thank you. Need anything, Meg? That might be Megan, I'll have a better one. Plug for you if you're going to be sitting here. Oh, I see what you're doing. Never mind. I don't know how computers work.
When was that? This was a year ago. Right? So as a stylist, and the guy that used to be here, but I think he's been going.
I put candles if you want.
Yeah, there's,
Oh, yeah, that's a policy.
there's like one guy that's been there for like 8 years.
But yeah, like I said, I ordered toilet paper from Amazon, and they gave me a bunch of bottled waters.
Oh, okay, I just finally understood what you meant.
So.
Instead of toilet paper, or
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I should really complain because I don't need toilet paper that bad, and it's good timing. So those are all here.
Oh, beautiful. I like saw that you had text on my phone, but I didn't.
That's what I said. Oh, I was just like, oh, they gave me little. Oh, and also the mic, I got new batteries and it still doesn't work, so I don't know what you're gonna have to do about it.
That's okay.
Okay, cool. I have like a wireless karaoke mic we were gonna utilize for this, but it doesn't seem to be functioning.
You got any like karaoke?
I just do it off YouTube usually and put it on the input on my speaker.
I have a GoPro here with my frozen.
Hey, anybody who's watching this live stream, I'm now gonna try to go back to this live stream, which is still working. What the fuck? How do I share?
So mine's full now.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Asafe.
Oh,
Hi,
Asafi used to live with
Nice
me
to
at my
meet
old
you.
work.
Oh, nice to
Yeah, I
meet
used
you.
to live with her. I had a friend who used to live in Asheville. She lives in Portland now. Her name is Kate.
Oh, if I see what it looks like, I might
She
have it.
actually told me to go to your reading tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
whoa.
And I just happened to be good friends with Rachel, so Rachel was like, why don't you just come over afterwards?
Oh,
So, yeah, you're very well loved.
oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But you were.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Isn't it?
Earlier. No.
I have.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I know how to do like point shoot. I know how to do like.
Alright.
I think it's like 510 has enough to be
I'm ending this one.
Don't ask what else.
I'm returning to the first one,
Is it
where I will continue reading.